Hello, everybody. I can't believe it's nearly 5 o'clock on a Wednesday afternoon.
But good news, weather check.
Oh my goodness, here comes spring.
Costa del Windermere. Here we are.
We've just been to see an absolutely stunning home, and the garden is something else. It's an acre garden with waterfalls and rhododendrons and camellias, isn't it?
What other plants were there?
Decorum was there. So I think I've got one of these, and it says, "Is it decorum?" I said, "No."
I thought decorum was an aftershave.
Decorum is what you don't have, and I do.
Decorum.
No, decorum means knowing how to act in any given situation.
I know what it means.
It's
Thanks.
etiquette.
Yeah.
And I definitely have lots of that, and you definitely don't. Anyway, the point I was making was, what?
That was ironic, really, wasn't it?
What?
Because you were being nasty, which wasn't very good decorum.
It's not very decorous.
Decorum.
So looking around this beautiful garden, I did say to the lovely homeowner, isn't it great that we've got sunshine today? Because if we'd been tramping around in our wellies and with umbrellas and stuff, it just would have spoiled the experience. So we're only going to do viewings on this house when it's sunny.
Yeah, it was a lovely house. We've got actually Boom Hill went live today, which is another lovely house locally. We've got
Yeah, look, it's Google, well, not Google, right with Winster.
we've got quite a few
1.25, that one, isn't it?
in and around that kind of value coming, which is kind of our favourite price because
Well, it's also our buyer's favourite price,
it's where
isn't
all
it?
our buyers are. Yeah.
Well, our buyers are between 750 and 1.5, 1.7 million, aren't they?
I'm saying that the Balleray was swamped. That was way higher than that. So
3.5
let's say
million.
1 million above.
Yeah, just say.
Well, we have some lots.
You can't speak.
We
He's
have
tired.
lots of nice homes coming today.
We've been, yeah, we also went to see a gorgeous home in Hornby today.
We did.
That was something
Hornby.
really special. Really, really special.
Yeah, a lot further away than you think it is.
It is a lot further away, but it's only further away to us. It's not further away to someone who's going to buy in Hornby, is it? Hornby's got everything. Hornby's fantastic. Hornby's got, what did you say, 7 pubs?
It used to, because this was one of them.
Yeah. Pubs. It's got pubs. It's got a little tea room,
Fire station.
fire station,
I noticed that one.
swimming pool.
Swimming pool.
Swimming pool in Hornby.
That was a pond or flood.
No, it's an indoor swimming pool. There is an indoor swimming pool in Hornby. It's a great place to live. Really great.
Tell us about when you lived there.
I didn't live there. 10 minutes to Lancaster, 10 minutes to Kirkby Lonsdale in a very fast car. Anyway, the point is we've been to see some beautiful homes recently. And if you know anybody who has a beautiful home that's thinking about waiting to sell, tell them please don't wait to sell. Sell now, because Sandfield needs lots of beautiful homes to sell to lots of beautiful buyers.
And I think what we see at the moment is sometimes we go to the couple like the couple today who are older than we are. I was going to say old, elderly.
They're
And
not elderly, you can't say elderly.
can I not say elderly?
No.
What can I say?
Just older than me.
Everyone's older than me. They are, anyway, experienced. Further?
Yeah.
Okay, experienced. And obviously estate agents do not have a very good name.
I do.
In terms of the international. They don't have a good name in the UK as an industry. And sometimes we go in, you can feel a little bit of almost anxiety on what we're going to be like and what we're going to say and what we expect of them. And because we are exactly like we are on camera,
Here now. You didn't even take your coat off.
didn't I? Is that one thing you noticed?
Yeah, I really wanted to say I think you should take your coat off, but then it sounded like I was your mother-in-law.
You use the toilet. It's not a hotel.
Don't dob me in.
You can see, especially it's usually the ladies first, they quite quickly relax, don't they? She did today, and then eventually the guys usually do as well. And realise that it's just a conversation, and we're there as, we can be serious sometimes, as consultants. We're not there to try and, we don't come with a for sale board,
Or an agreement for them to sign.
or a contract.
In fact, actually, one of the things that this gentleman said today was that he'd had a valuation from another agent, and that other agent's contract put the fear of God into him, basically. Didn't it? It was like tied him up in knots. You know, you have to pay us if you sell, you pay us if you don't sell, you pay us if you sell to your family.
Which goes with a a bad name
Yeah.
named industry, turning up with a suit and tie and very
the opposite of that.
school shoes,
I've got a mark in my jeans.
and then hitting them with this contract, and it all kind of is in alignment. So we don't really fit.
No,
with
we
that.
actually said to them, if you don't sell, you don't pay. And they went, really? So, well, yeah, if you don't sell, you don't pay. Why would you pay if you don't sell? That it's a brokerage fee. It's a fee based on the transaction. So if no transaction, there's no fee. And some people actually do change their mind about selling, and they need to be not penalised for that.
It's like a sweet shop getting paid for not selling the sweets. A business would be very easy if you got paid for not selling your product, wouldn't it? We'd all be absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minted.
We would.
So we're actually here today to talk to you about how we value a unique home, because it's one of the things that, that we do. You know, we find a challenge, the same as every other agent in the UK. And actually, as we drove away from both the houses today, we are not quite on the same page with our valuations, which is good. So we come back, we have a meeting with the team, we talk about all the different factors that are involved, and we arrive at what we think is a good valuation, and a valuation that we can justify to buyers, which is really, really important. Because quite often buyers want to know how we arrived at a valuation for a house, and we have to justify it, we have to piece by piece explain.
It's a big responsibility actually, because we know that what we've done over the last year is give families and couples, at one point it was $250,000 over what everyone else said and over what they thought they could achieve. But then we have to make sure that we genuinely believe that we can get our price, and that we're not pitching it at a certain price just to get the listing, which is obviously really easy to do.
And we're not there to fleece the buyers either. The buyers have got to feel like they've also
Yeah.
got a good deal. We're not.
I'm
He's
all for
joking.
fleecing buyers.
He's joking. It needs to feel fair. So the buyer needs to feel that they've won in the deal, and the seller needs to feel that they've won in the deal. And we need to feel that we've made a fair transaction. What?
Not sure of that. It's our job to get every penny we can for our clients,
Yes.
but we need to make sure that the last thing that anyone wants is for us to put a home on the market at a certain price and absolute nothing. That's the worst.
Crickets.
Is that, and
And it sometimes does
it
happen.
sometimes happens.
Yeah.
And
And sometimes we take on a house that the whole team absolutely love. They can't wait to go and show it, and then nobody wants to buy it.
you always know, you get a feeling in the office when people say this one's going to fly, it looks amazing online, and then nothing. And there's no logical reason for it. And sometimes it just takes 2 or 3, 4 weeks for the market to almost catch up, because it always works in waves. And then you get 3 or 4 or 5 viewings and it sells. But there's never you can never second guess what's going to happen. It's I mean, we saw one recently. They've been on the market for about a year, and we had an offer, and all of a sudden we had 3 offers. And
Couldn't make it.
why does that happen? There's no logical reason. But
And Maria actually said, where have they been for the last year? Why haven't the buyers wanted to buy for last year? Why are they all wanting to buy now?
yeah, it always happens. A home goes up under offer, and all of a sudden, I want to buy that one. Why didn't you?
Why didn't you buy it? We were
It's there for
there.
you. No,
Yeah,
I don't swear.
So what do we look at?
You don't swear unless I'm mad.
What do we look at in terms of the elements that go into valuing a unique home?
So,
Let's start off with logic.
with logic, okay.
Yeah.
We use price per square foot, which is logic, which we have an understanding and a spreadsheet, which is very logical, of exactly all the homes in the area that are, and they're tied down to specific areas, so it'll be a certain area in Bowness and etc. We know what sold over the last 5-10 years, the size of that property, and the price per square foot.
Price per square foot achieved for a sold property,
Achieved
as
for
well,
sold
not
property.
just on the market.
Yeah.
It's all very well to say, well, this property's on the market for £600 a square foot, but if it hasn't sold, it's not a proven entity. So we look at proof. So the properties that have sold for the last 7 years, what they achieved on a price per square foot basis. So, for example, Bowness is about £350 a square foot, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird.
It depends on the house, depends on the view, it depends
Yeah,
on lots of
and we know know that.
There's always a plus and minus, but actually it probably averages out about £350.
So it averages out of that, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Whereas Kendall's
we've been
250.
recently is higher than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kendall's about 250.
Kendall's 275.
And Troutbeck is about 450.
Yeah.
Grasmere is about 450.
Yeah.
So they're kind of our benchmarks, but there's always the pluses and minuses, you know, to go into that, and some other factors as well, like
Lake frontage.
lake frontage, yeah.
Yeah, there's lots of different things. But what it does do is it gives us a ballpark to work from, and from there
And
we
a bit
can.
of a sanity check as well. Because
Yeah.
we did actually value a house last year, didn't we? And when we went and presented our valuation, they said you're absolutely way out. We're way out by about 25%, which is so unlike us. It hasn't ever happened before. But it's because we'd underestimated the size of the house. So we've gone on the price per square foot, but we've underestimated the size. Once we've found the size, we could then go back to the evaluation. You just have a seat, dear. So that's the price per square foot. Then we have to look at the comparable properties, and this is what a surveyor will do. They'll look at comparable properties that have sold and comparable properties that are unsold. But where we have got more information than the surveyor, that's you, not me.
That's your stomach.
It's definitely not me. And now you've told everybody. Again. Where we have an advantage over a surveyor is we know what kind of interest each home is getting. So we can say, right, well, this is £350 per square foot, this is £450 per square foot, but this one's getting loads of interest and this one isn't getting interest. So we'll know that, where the surveyor won't know that.
Yeah, and because we've got quite a lot of similar homes coming to the market at the moment, we could come back and went to the board and said, right, is it bigger, more modern, better view than this one? Is it smaller than this one, etc.?
Yeah.
And again, that just narrows it down into a certain area.
See, surveyors, I'm going to get on my pedestal here. Surveyors shouldn't be allowed to value houses. They shouldn't be, because what information could they possibly have to value a house? All they've got is previous information. They've got no current and future information
The best one is when they undervalue it by about 5,000.
on a £1 million house.
Brilliant. What they actually do is they take our valuation and then just slightly knock
A little bit off.
these new boiler, that's not £5,000 off.
We should put the valuation up first, shouldn't we? But in this country, I don't know if you know this, but surveyors aren't allowed to value the property at more than the valuation of the property. So in other words, if
it's
so-
over $1 million.
if the sale price is $1 million, they can't say
Yeah.
it's worth £1.5 million, even if it's transacting between family members. A private surveyor can, but a mortgage surveyor can't. Whereas in the States, you can remortgage something as soon as you bought it, and in fact, you can even mortgage it for more than you're buying it for, whereas we can't here.
Yeah.
But yeah, surveyors shouldn't be allowed to value homes.
We also use the current market conditions. So LA23 over the last 12 months has risen by 11%, which is pretty crazy.
Staggering. LA22 has risen by 3%, I think it is.
Yeah. So it's,
The trouble is, there's not
reliable.
enough properties.
Yeah.
There's not enough, if you only put like 5 properties in that, you can't really say they've gone up, can you?
No. But, we have a good feel. So the LA23 one is probably accurate. LA22 one isn't.
No.
We
We think that property prices are about 10% more than they were this time last year. We know because we're valuing it about 10% higher. And that's because of the demand that we've got on properties. What's wrong?
feel the floor shaking. I thought you might be.
You can't feel the floor shaking. It's concrete floor.
Well, I'm moving then. Something is.
Earthquake in Windermere.
You won't laugh if there is one.
It'd be funny if there was.
We also driving away. We say, "What do you think?"
Yeah.
And I say one, Sam says one, and we usually this far apart, and we say, "Yeah, what about this?" And we slowly move in, and then.
I normally have a good feel for what I think that the owners are looking for, what their expectations are, and Phil has a better feel for what else is sold in the area.
It's I'm usually lower than you, but today I was higher than you.
Yeah. Yeah, although you were higher than me the other day as well. You know, it does sometimes happen, but actually having 2 of us is really good. In fact, I don't know how estate agents work when there's just one of them. I think if you're going to see a house that's, you know, above 500,000, that's completely unique, you could be wrong by a couple of 100,000 very easily. But because there's 2 of us there, and then we rope in the team as well, and we use all these different factors, probably 5-6 different factors, then actually the final figure we arrive at is going to be much more accurate than if one person goes and says, finger in the air, I think it's about that, which is what actually a lot of agents do.
Yeah, which leads to being miles out quite often.
Yeah. So we now have stopped, which we used to do. We used to give a valuation there and then in the house, and we've stopped doing that now because it's not fair and it's not accurate.
It's not possible.
And also, if we go in and we don't particularly like the house, or it's not got a great vibe, or it's unloved, it's not being lived in. Yeah, it's not got a good vibe. Yeah.
Have you got a good vibe?
I've got a very good vibe. Yeah. Or it feels a bit haunted. There was a house that I showed of ours a couple of years ago now that I wouldn't go upstairs in. It felt very haunted.
Where?
I'll tell you later. Because in case the people who bought it are watching.
Well, they're not dead. They went upstairs.
Never to be seen again. Maybe the last estate agent was up there, locked in. Or if the opposite is also true, if we go around and we absolutely love the people that are there, we love the house, it's a gorgeous sunny day, they give us a nice cup of tea and some homemade biscuits, that's it, valuation through the roof. That's why we have to come away and just sanity check ourselves a bit.
We do.
So let's just go over these things again. Price per square foot, comparable sold, comparable not yet sold.
Gut feel.
I think that comes last. I'm going to just say next how it compares to other properties on our portfolio and everybody else as well, but how it kind of sits in our portfolio. So what we think somebody would prefer to buy out of, you know, the portfolio we've got, and also kind of the affordability of our buyers and how our buyers would react. So something we do ask our team is, as soon as they go around there for the first couple of viewings, we say, how did it feel? Did it feel like that price was about right? Does that, you know, does it show well? And then they'll give us really good feedback on that, won't they? And then the last one is the gut feel. You know, it's kind of, that's, how does it feel as a house? Because we valued a house the other day, didn't we? And we were really umming and ahhing between two figures. And it was going to be a substantial amount of money between the two. And we actually went for the lower figure because the lower figure is always safer. Because even though we might not win that listing then, somebody else might win it. If we do win it and we go to market and it is slightly on the modest side, then we'll find out very quickly because there'll be loads of interest in it. But if we go slightly too high, it doesn't have to be much too high, does it? Just a little bit too high, you completely strangle the interest, and then that person gets no viewings and they don't know why.
That's it. And the figure we actually went with is what they wanted.
And the figure we went with is what they wanted. But they'd had a valuation years before that had been, we think, an overvaluation. So that was the problem, wasn't it? Because if you think that was a valuation, it was a true valuation then, and then you're going to add on inflation the next few years, then you're going to come up to too high a price, aren't you? And there are, you know, valuing homes, unique homes, is not an easy thing to do. So if you're watching this from another part of the country, we're not going to diss our lovely competitors here because they're all lovely and they're all great. But it's very tempting when you don't have enough homes to sell to value a house too high. And we have to really rein ourselves in and our enthusiasm in and say, look, we need to give you an honest and accurate valuation here, and then we'll discuss it.
Yeah.
In fact, we gave a valuation yesterday, didn't we, to some people who don't want to sell. They're going to have to be tempted out, and we gave them two valuations. And one, well, I'll pick two figures. They're not actually accurate figures, but let's say one figure was 1.5 million, the other figure was 2 million, and the difference between the two was 1.5 million on paper, 2 million we could probably persuade somebody to buy if you would be tempted out for that figure. So it's never actually a complete science.
Not at that level, certainly.
No, we can bring science into it, but ultimately it's also got to be a bit of a sanity check for us and the team to go, can we get this figure for this house? Is the right thing to do? Or is a surveyor going to come in and play God with us, kill our valuation, ruin the credibility of the purchase, annoy our buyers? Bloody surveyors, honestly. We do love you, really, honestly. Just don't value. Or accept our valuation.
Just survey.
Just survey.
Survey the area.
Just survey, yeah. That's it. That's how we value unique home. I don't know if that was informative whatsoever, or if it was just a ramble. But that's today's Ask AJ.
Yes, so if you're ready to have us two value your home and see what we come up with, we've shown you how we do it. She'll all be making very nice cups of tea and biscuits from now on.
Yeah, you will, yeah. Gin and tonic on and on.
Yeah.
To get a higher figure out of us, yeah.
Or if you know anyone interested in selling over the next 6 to 9 months.
We can still do valuations. If you prefer us to do a drive-by valuation, we can do that. If we want just an on-paper valuation, we can do that. We've done a few of these recently.
If you see Zoom.
Or FaceTime or whatever, but actually, most people have wanted us to go in.
Yeah.
We've been doing safe valuations, but most people wanted us to go in and see their house. and just keep a safe distance, obviously. And I have booked my jab. You youngsters, you've got to wait ages. I booked my jab. I'm quite happy about that. Let's go to Grasmere for it. I don't even know where Grasmere Pharmacy is. In fact, could somebody tell me?
Grasmere Pharmacy?
Yeah.
There's about 4 buildings in Grasmere.
I don't know where it is. Didn't even know there was a pharmacy in Grasmere. Isn't that a funny place to go for a jab?
Yeah, it really is.
Grasmere Pharmacy. And in fact, actually, it offered me, where was it in Kenmore? Westland Centre. Westland Shopping Centre it was.
Yeah.
And he said, choose your day, and there was one day on it. And it said, choose your time, and it said AM unavailable, PM unavailable. And then it went, error. So now choose Grasmere.
They saw Sam Ashdown and were like, unavailable. Don't want her in here. She's that value in the shopping centre. Measuring out square feet.
Anyway, we'll go. We're just rambling now. So you have a lovely evening, whatever you're doing, because it is gorgeous. Hope you get out for a walk or something nice outside. And yeah, I'll speak to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.